he's talking about Tony Hawk.
It's the same conversation.
He was just on Your Mom's Pop.
I did see that.
Was he on that today?
I did see
Fuck.
that. Yeah, he was.
I didn't listen to it yet.
I haven't
today.
checked it out yet.
It's always good to know Tony
I
Hawk's
just
still
saw
alive.
clips. I didn't.
Yeah, I
listen
used to follow a band called MXPX when I was growing up. They were like Christian pop punk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they weren't really super Christian though, but like their bass player singer,
What's
their
the
bass player
definition
singer.
of what's super Christian?
Oh my!
They get Myrrh
Creed.
albums.
I don't know. They never said the word Jesus. I don't think, but
I guess you're right.
their bass player singer
They were
was
all
on
white.
tour with Goldfinger.
Yeah.
On their last tour.
Yeah.
And Tony Hawk came up and did Superman with them.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I did just. He
Yeah,
is
that
still
happened.
alive,
That
is what
happened
I'm
like
trying
2
to
weeks
say.
after we had the idea. So we had the we've had the idea for a while, but after we like declared that we were going to do it.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, it's like Tony Hawk gets on stage and does
Oh.
Superman with Goldfinger.
He knew it. Stealing your thunder.
I know. I was
motherfucker.
like,
It's called,
fucking
it's
Tony
called
Hawk.
parallel thinking.
Yeah, no, actually, it was great. It makes people think about that song more. Now
It's in the
people are
zen-
like,
it's in
oh,
the
yeah,
ether.
that song I
the
forgot
zeitgeist.
about. And we're like, boom, we're doing it. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
I feel like that's the one song that
You can't.
everyone
not do it.
knows
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to do.
Yeah, it's got to
Yeah.
be the ender.
Yeah,
It's
that-
gotta
yeah,
be-
It's got to
exactly.
be Ender, or you just don't do it. You know, you teen spirit it. Yeah, yeah. Mystery. You got to be there.
Teen Spirit isn't in one of the songs. In one of the
Well,
games.
no. I mean,
They-
like
they never
Nirvana
played
never
it.
liked to do it,
Yeah.
and they never did it.
Too
Barely.
cool for it.
Like how Miles Davis never did So What.
Maybe they just forgot about it and they were just like, oh, never mind.
That could, good.
Step
Ah.
ahead of us.
But-
They didn't forget about it.
We're here with Sea Level.
Are we?
This is a music podcast.
Is it?
And yeah,
We were talking music this time. Normally, like, we're off on a tangent about,
chicken nuggets or something.
yeah, God knows what. Your Mom's House podcast.
Podcastception.
Yeah.
Podcast talking about podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know
great
your
idea.
mom's house podcast.
Oh,
It's
a good one.
hilarious.
It's Tom Segura and
His
Christina
wife.
Pete.
Yeah.
I love her TikToks.
Oh, they're messed up.
She had one of this woman.
I'm going down to the mountain. That one?
She had one that was on the other day of a woman working out that was like, you have to praise him in between sets.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I thought about when you were talking about they're not like a super Christian band. I was thinking about this woman working out. She's like, you need to
Doing-
praise him before and after every set that you're doing. And think of the songs.
between every song.
Between
workouts.
Between
That's
workouts.
not-
So she's
that's
like
not
working out
great
in the
for
gym.
progressive reps at all.
Oh, I meant like for the Christian band, they would have to do it in between every song.
Yeah, I think of between like before every chorus. If they were going to this woman's
And
level.
every chorus would have to have a real choir,
Yeah.
like a real chorus,
And they'd have to do it all from their knees, which would be tough on drums.
with robes.
I do that every time that I'm working out with a friend that actually works out because I'm always like, Jesus Christ.
That counts. You're
See,
right.
I can tell you for a fact Cody doesn't do that because when I call you and you're working out,
Dave calls me during my workouts pretty frequently.
It's really cute.
yeah, like I can count. I feel like we don't talk unless you're working out. I feel
That's not true. We also talk when I'm going
Yeah.
to the bathroom pretty frequently as well.
And I can't tell the difference. Like if we
Makes the same
reenacted a
sounds.
phone call right now, if I was like, ring, ring.
Old Adam
What's up,
Sandler
yeah,
Sandler
because
thing.
yeah,
You ever heard the from the Adam Sandler like CDs?
Yes,
back in the
yes,
day, where he had like, are these people having sex or working out? Like we are definitely banging right now. There's no weight equipment here for miles. Yeah. Nope, those people were doing seated rows.
When he's in the outfield, he's like, "Oh, please don't hit it to me. Please don't hit it to me."
Way to kick it in, Pele.
What was like the big? He was like big fatty or whatever it was. He was like, "Oh, he's gonna walk over here and he's gonna be really out of breath." And he's like walking. He's like, "Hey guys,
Fatty McGee, you're
Fatty
Fatty
McGee."
McGee, you're the fattest.
He's just like, "Oh no, Fatty McGee's gonna walk over here. It's gonna take him so long and he's gonna be so out of breath."
If you guys haven't checked out Adam Sandler's comedy CDs, What the Hell Happened to Me, and I can't remember.
That's the
name
one
of
I knew.
They're on Spotify.
I got that from the library.
Oh, they are.
That's where it
Right
takes
next to
place.
the jackhammers, right?
Yeah.
We learned that on this podcast. We learned that libraries like rent out power tools
Oh, yeah,
as
I got
well.
I got a puzzle
Yeah.
from the library today.
Yeah. Did
I
you
was
solve
getting kids'
it?
books with my daughter, and
Okay.
like, yeah, let's go. They have puzzles here now. They have like binoculars and a ukulele.
What?
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, libraries are dope. You
And
can do a lot
this
of cool
is how
stuff
it
there.
normally stops. How
Yeah.
it normally starts where we're
There
like,
goes
yeah,
all our
that's the
listeners
tangent.
too.
Yeah, well, they're like, oh, they're plugging libraries. You know what
Support your
doesn't need
library.
plugging?
Support your public
Libraries.
library.
Yeah.
But like all the T-shirts, like those hoodies we made, I made from getting using the vinyl cutter at the library and putting them on like a what do you call it, a screen, and just
Oh, good.
That's his
Do that at the
signature sound.
library.
that's my signature sound.
They've got free.
If you want to
like,
isolate that, use that as a drop.
We have that from the first episode.
Okay, yeah. Please, we'll compare it. See if
do
it's
Rosetta
like,
Stone through the
See how
library.
it's evolved.
yeah,
Doing that.
Oh,
Yeah, the Rosetta Stone you can get for free through the library. I was learning
Yeah.
Italian when I thought I was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I was,
Moving where?
I was supposed to be moving to Italy, and
Oh,
then they
another-
pulled the rug on it after I sold everything except for the stuff in this room.
Nice,
They
nice.
sold our cars and everything.
Wow.
I even have some of his wall decorations in my house.
I got the car.
What were you gonna do in Italy?
My wife was getting transferred to over there, so we were very excited. And then, like, after we sold everything, they decided they weren't going to do that. I'd already, like, put in my notice at my job,
Yeah.
hired my replacement.
Uh,
So now I'm a podcaster. That's my
Yeah,
job.
This podcast would have crashed and burned without you, man.
It seems that way.
I would have been like, nah.
Not that I do a lot, but I do more than nothing.
Well, you motivate me.
well, I feel like this is a good place for our sponsors. Let's like,
These AA sponsors. Basement Trader.
Basement
Yeah,
Trader.
Basement Trader. I just went and visited Chuck the other day, and I was playing a what the hell was I playing? One of those
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I was playing one of those weird Dan Electro basses with the horns.
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
those are weird.
Short scale. That was a
Yeah.
weird thing I was playing over there.
Those are uncomfortable because of that. Like,
Yeah,
there's
it's-
it feels like it shouldn't hold up.
Yeah.
Feels like it should.
why'd
break.
you play
Snap
one?
right off.
I don't have. I don't play one because they're uncomfortable.
Well, when did you get the opportunity? to
When
play
I worked at the Guitar Center.
Yeah, we're of course talking about Basement Trader, BASSMENT Trader. Mr. Chuck Kaminsky.
Mr. Chuck Kaminsky.
Yeah. Well, it's on his card, so I'm just gonna say it. Text 440-392-4468.
I think whenever you start reading, you go into like a natural radio voice.
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah,
is
that's
that
pretty
is that from
got
reading
real
to
ASMR.
your kid?
He's got some.
I do
good-
the same
or
thing.
like-
I have like a reading voice for
Freya.
when I read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you read that card as if you were reading it to Freya?
No, I'm not gonna. I can't.
I can't do it.
Well,
It doesn't.
I was doing
Because
it
then
like
I'll
I
get
read to
sleepy. I'll fall
Delilah.
asleep.
Well,
It's like a sleepy voice.
it's a sleepy
Have
voice.
you guys messed around with that Chat GPT thing?
Oh yeah, that seems wild.
It's
that?
it's this internet AI thing that's taking all of our jobs apparently. And so like I just
jobs.
I screwed around with it and I did like what I would have taken me a year in my job. I finished in like 7 minutes.
What'd you write with it?
I started a whole YouTube channel on classical music.
Okay.
That is completely read and written by AI.
Cool.
But that you could also tell it like redo this in the style of a Donald Trump speech.
Right.
And
Oh,
like
you can get it in your voice too, right?
I can
Yeah.
get it in
Yeah,
my
you,
voice
like,
too. You
speak
can
to
like you read to it for it'll give you a script to read for like a half hour.
And it's
Yeah.
like every
Yeah.
word.
And it'll
Yeah,
have
this is
it'll
crazy.
have
Every
your voice
syllable.
in there, and then it can make it in the style of like Trump.
It's essentially
Yeah.
like
So I was
the
like-
getting your fingerprint on your phone.
yeah.
yeah.
So
It's
I was like, tell me the history of Rickenbacker guitars in the
Yeah.
style of a Donald Trump speech. And it's like, let me tell you folks about Rickenbacker.
They're the greatest.
ever. Nothing's better. I've heard it from a lot of folks.
A lot of other bases will tell
You
you.
gotta be kidding me, man.
Good folks, great folks.
It's,
so,
So that's your Rickenbacker?
that's my
yeah, want to hear the
Rickenbacker
history
over
about
there.
it?
I love
the greatest.
Rickenbackers. There's a band called Screaming Females that I love a lot. Their bass player King Mike plays a Rickenbacker, and we saw them at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one
Yeah, that's
time,
right.
and he broke it, and he got mad.
Broke a Rickenbacker?
How?
Rocking.
It just stopped working. I don't know how he
Oh,
broke
okay.
it, but
Rock-
it just-
electronically.
he was
Okay.
in the middle of their
Rocked it.
set. It just stopped working, and he threw it, and I was flabbergasted to see someone throw a Rickenbacker.
I bet
and
it
then
would
the
survive.
opening band brought him up their bass, and it was like just a like cheapo 200, and you just see this guy. He like just thumps on the Rickenbacker. He's like playing this little bass, and he was just like totally disappointed with.
It was
where
at the
his
Rock
life was
Hall?
at.
Yeah, it was.
They could have
outside.
grabbed
Yeah,
him
yeah.
any other base.
Yeah, there's the triangle full of
Oh
them.
yeah, here's
They're all-
Lemmy's
they're all behind
Rickenbacker.
glass.
Here's no. That's, it says if you look at all the exhibits, it says in case of emergency, break glass, and then you can get
yeah.
Bootsy Collins' star base.
That's an
I am going to
emergency.
break a lot of glass next time I go there.
I have a loose
This is an
definition of
emergency.
emergency.
Well, I remember like one of the first times I went there, they had like Keith Moon's Pictures Lily drum
Yeah.
set right there, and I was looking at the floor tom, and I was
Premiere.
looking at the door, and I was looking at the floor tom, and I was looking at the door. I'm like, I think I can make it out of here.
I don't know.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing once I get out there.
I would
but-
just take one rack tom, you know, because it just looks nice.
Well, like the floor tom was just there though to grab. Like I didn't have to unhook it. Like I
Yeah,
could
it's
just.
just-
It was like a.
I'm like, it's a big kit. It's 2 bass drums.
Storm the
Yeah.
gates.
Like I could just. That door's right. It was right by the door.
On the roof.
Like I was like 17 or something at that point in time.
Yeah,
The next
the-
time I went, they had Alex Van Halen's kit, but it was down some stairs.
I think
Then
they
I got-
still have that.
I got yelled
Most
at
of
for,
the stuff's down the stairs now.
I was taking pictures of the inside of the bass drums and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like what do you like?
They used to not let you take pictures, and now they do.
Yeah, okay, because like I was getting inside there because his bass drums are just like two bolted together. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
how did he set this up? And
Yeah.
he had Ludwig floor tom mounts, like seen right behind you, on the inside of the bass drum shells with the cut off floor tom legs connecting the 2 bass drums.
So it's like a woofer.
Yeah.
Okay.
He ran it like that. It was something else. And then like he like all of his instead of having wing nuts for everything, it was cotter pins. So you just pull the pin and the thing would come right out for quick teardown.
I would need to hear it, because otherwise I'm like,
I'm sure it's
You think that made it
like,
easier
if-
for him to smash?
well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm like, I would need to hear that to see if that's actually worth the effort.
I think it was just for quick
Alex,
teardown.
yeah,
Oh, I meant like the actual 2 bass drums. And
Oh, yeah.
Like woofer, like attaching them to each other like that. I
I
would
think
need
a
to
lot
hear
of
it.
cocaine was involved.
Hell yes.
Hey, here's the 6 episodes in a row talking about Van Halen.
Yeah.
Oh, Pat, what is that? Is that the traditional sea level
see some water?
podcast
The rare
toasting mechanism of
I brought special marshmallow crispy treat M&Ms.
Crack the bag.
crack the bag, crack the bag of the mic. We are not sponsored by M&M, but
But
if we had to, we would just want to bring attention to the new flavor, which is crispy M&Ms.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me try
Cody, now that we're all
They're
trying-
available all over at various sheets.
I thought you told
wherever
me the new,
M&Ms are sold.
I
Cody,
thought you told
not
me
where-
the new
just at
flavor of
Sheetz.
M&M was mom's spaghetti.
Well,
not yet.
That's exclusive.
Already.
Don't talk about
That's
that on the
February.
air.
February already.
It is February right now.
Who knows what day this is coming out? We're all chewing M&Ms. So
I give it a
the radio silence.
Welcome
What
back
do you
to
think?
Cuyahoga Sound Podcast. These are great.
Yeah, they're great.
Holy crap! It doesn't even taste like an M&M.
Did we take a commercial break right there?
I
may
think we
have.
did. Are we finally?
we're back.
Are we finally sponsored by M&M?
That's our goal, is to get sponsored by
Found
M&M.
out one of my buddies is working
This
for
tastes-
Great Lakes Brewery now. I'm gonna
This
try and
tastes
get
like
them.
a s'more Whopper.
A smopper.
Yeah, a s'more.
What do
I
you
think
think
it-
about the Rice
Yeah,
Krispie
yeah. What are your
M&Ms?
thoughts? Yeah,
They're pretty tasty.
It just tastes like vanilla to me.
they're taste like a Rice Krispie treat. That's what they are.
I think
exactly
they
it.
taste like the sugar cookie M&Ms.
They are
Yeah.
I
kind
haven't
of
had
like.
those, but
They taste like
I
that.
taste sugar cookie.
I taste sugar.
That's the key
Sugar's
ingredient.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably
High
number one on the
fructose
list, right?
Sugar.
Corn syrup.
Sugar.
Yeah, thanks.
I love M&Ms.
Because we don't let sugar in here. Like that's why I always like look forward to going to like the border towns in like Texas and get some Mexican Coca-Cola with real sugar in it. It's delicious, man. It's delicious. We got.
I've never had that.
We put a ban on how much sugar you can bring into this country because we have too
Sweet.
much corn.
And
So we make
obesity.
everything with corn syrup, and it just doesn't taste the same. This is definitely a tangent we haven't been on.
When you said that, I thought you meant in your house at first.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
thought that was dietary
I was like, oh
restriction.
shit,
dude.
we just
brought
brought sugar into the home.
Listen, sinners.
Like, because you only, I'm gonna be honest to the listeners that aren't watching the video. He only ate one M&M, so I kind of thought to myself like, well, he's just trying to be cool. He doesn't really want the sugar. He's taking the minimal amount.
He's
I
just
felt like the reason for only taking one M&M, I felt like I was gonna have to like really get my hands in there to get more than one, and I knew I was like second on the list of 5 here, so I wasn't gonna shove all my fingers into the
Well, Ev did the
M&Ms.
same thing too. He only had one. Pat, how many did you have?
Are you guys cops?
It's really not. If anybody wants them,
Citizens
they're
on
here.
patrol.
If anybody wants them, they're here.
We're gonna fish them.
You guys work for
I don't want to make
Skittles?
too big a deal.
Yeah, they work for the big Skittle.
I fucking knew it. This whole interview was a ploy.
Mr. Reese's.
Mr. Reese is coming.
All right, guys, come on and get him.
We shouldn't have told him about the mom spaghetti M&Ms.
No! We'd have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling podcasters.
If you're still listening right now, make a comment in the description so that we can.
Yeah, which
Know
M&M
that
flavor
you're
is the
hearing.
best?
Yeah, flood M&M's socials and say sponsor Sea Level. They've been doing the hard work for years.
We've been carrying the M&M flag.
Yeah.
And they've got a new album out, and it's fucking fantastic.
It's not out yet.
It's
Well,
not out yet.
It might be out by not by the time we hear this.
We
Nope.
heard it.
We heard it.
Yeah, my link worked.
Cool.
Hey,
Oh,
did
did you
work.
guys listen to it?
We
Promo
did.
link.
Oh, that's
Promo
awesome.
link.
It is awesome.
Dude,
I'm told.
I-
Well, that you listened to it.
Barely,
I'm so happy.
It is
very
awesome.
rarely felt so privileged.
Yeah, like when we.
Yeah, we've never done that before. So
You guys are the
you're
first.
We've never been in a
You are-
privileged position to give out privilege.
We've never been in a
As
prepared
three
situation.
white men.
As Evan noticed earlier, he's like, when I clicked on it, it then said 2 as far as
Yeah,
listens.
2 listens.
So like I'd already listened
You
to
and
him.
me.
Yeah.
Because there's the masters, right?
Priv
Yeah,
and Lit.
yeah.
Yes.
So, I think we both
No,
had a
that's very
consensus,
sweet. I appreciate it.
consensus favorite.
Yeah?
Really?
I mean,
I'm
the
interested.
whole album's freaking cool. But where was it? What was the second track there?
It hits all the genre specs that
Quick
I know
Fixer.
you guys are capable
All
of.
right.
Oh,
Thank
Quick
you.
Fixer.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
yeah,
Wow.
like
Oh, yeah. That was in my head.
yeah, I was like, it stuck
Yeah?
in my head through the whole
Alright.
thing.
That was
And-
one we thought of for doing as a single, and then we were like, nah. We said
We
never
should've
mind.
done it.
Later.
Now I'm
Later.
like, damn.
Well, I think I had shared with you guys the single that you put out. The single you put out was DIYs and
Yeah.
open mics. I listened to it for the first time. Evan shared it. Like you guys had posted
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
thank
was,
you. You guys have been supporting
I
us
was
all
out
the
of
way.
the
We really-
country
yeah?
when this
In
when
Italy?
it happened. I was in Italy.
Oh.
That's where we got that Italy listen. No.
Do it.
Probably because so Evan posted it and I was like, oh, I got to listen to this. And I was taking a train ride at sunset from Florence back to Rome, going through Tuscany.
This
Yeah.
is the most beautiful.
It's the most romantic
was
thing.
Fucking, yeah.
Wow.
And that was the soundtrack, and I'm like, this is just fantastic. Like, it's a moment in my life that I will always remember, and you guys
Dang.
are 100% part of that.
Aw.
Damn,
The song
thank
was-
you. man.
We would have never been considered part of Italy
Yeah.
in a
It
million
was-
years.
It was it's such a great song, and just like the vibe was perfect for like the moment that I was at, and the sun was going down. And I'm seeing these shadows on these like beautiful buildings and hills. And
Something
so
about
awesome.
something about violins and sunsets.
That's the best part about music, when it hits you right at that moment and you're just like looking out at the world and you're just like, this song is my moment. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
No one's ever said that
so-
to me about our song.
Yeah,
I
no,
have-
for real. I don't know how to take that right now.
I have 2 things that have done that. One is your song, and the other is the Physical Graffiti album from Zeppelin. So I'll put you guys on the same page.
Oh,
At least
there.
put Zeppelin first, and then
No, no.
I mean, chronologically that happened first, but like, yeah, like
Well,
just
thank
was
you,
the
man.
perfect thing. And then as far as like getting into the groove of the stuff as we were going along, Evan and I had talked about it before this started. We had another podcast, and then so I'm going through all the songs. I'm like, yeah, I'm digging this vibe, and we get to Think for Yourself. And I was like, all right, well, I know a Beatles song, Think for Yourself. I wonder if this is a cover or something. And all of a sudden, you guys like threw like a hook in there, we're like, whoa, what is that? Like out of nowhere, it comes in and it's more like punk and ready to go, like just in your face, and like was like, hey, wake up, we're still going. Like, don't get caught in the trance, and loved it.
Thank you, thank you. As far as like drums are concerned, we had a lot of fun on that one in Never Knows Best with James Muschler from formerly of Moon Hooch throwing tablas on it.
Okay, yeah.
Cleveland Heights boy.
Cleveland Heights boy.
Drum grooves are up. That
Yeah.
open hi-hat coming in there just kept my head bobbing through the whole thing. Like, that's something I always go to when I feel a groove going when I'm playing with the guitar player and the bass player. I start going to that opening the hi-hat before
Yeah.
and leading into it. And so I was right there with you through the whole thing.
Yeah. That's stolen right from that's Tony Allen. That's me just stealing Tony Allen
Yeah.
from Fela Kuti. That's all that is.
Pat's
know
our
who-
shining star.
Pat is the shining
No matter
star.
who you are.
I don't
Well,
know
thank
who
you,
I
man.
stole it from, but like I've
No, yeah,
been
thank
using
you.
that. Anytime I feel a groove really going, that just happens naturally. And
Yeah.
Like, and then you just feel it coming along. I'm like, yeah, I'm there. I'm 100% with you all the way through. Let's see where this goes. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then it was just like head bobbing and grooving with the headphones on, and then like. We got to the what is it? Think for yourself, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, it was a cool slap in the face. Like, all right, wake back up. We're still in this.
Well, thanks. We put it as like when you're doing your own music, you put your music out there a lot, and it kind of goes in the ether, and like it affects you and affects the people that help you make it, and like you really get into it. But to hear that it has any effect on anyone else around you, it's that glimmer of hope. It's that one guy in the back room like clapping, like in the bar where you're playing and no one cares. It's like. That is what keeps us going, and like you guys have been super supportive, just like having me on like years ago now. I think
About a year ago.
About a year ago,
Yeah.
and
I was
like
just listening to the episode on the way here.
oh yeah, oh
Make
boy,
sure you don't repeat anything.
I probably will, but you guys have been super supportive, so that's thank you so much,
Oh,
and like
Thank you. It was awesome, man. I put that on like 3:00 this afternoon. Threw the headphones on. Just rocked out. It was awesome.
thank you.
Start to finish. Loved it.
And I guess
Appreciate
as far as like a trajectory, as far as like tracks go on the record, that's what we're kind of hoping for at the end. So we're glad, at least I'm glad that it hit that way.
Yeah, we wanted it to be a bit of a build up to the wild kind of, like you said,
Statement.
slap in the face
Yeah.
sort of
Statement,
ending.
Yeah.
It really
Part
was.
of us were like, we would put it at the beginning, or we were talking about weird things, but like we kind of settled on that. I think we all kind of settled on that one track list, which was a mix of what each one of us
Yeah.
kind of wanted.
Usually that's it's funny because that's like I don't know, when you guys track stuff and put it out, it's kind of like, do you ever run into that bumping heads like of the order and stuff and like
Minutia kind of stuff. You
Minutia.
don't think about it until the very end, like
Yeah.
song order.
Yeah.
Sequencing.
And
Because
it's-
we're bad we're bad about that like live even. Like we
Yeah.
don't really write a set list or
No.
do anything.
And when we do, it's a lot of like.
it's more
I disagree. I think it's a lot of emotion and a lot of thought until we're actually there, and then
Yeah.
it's just kind of a. Bleh.
yeah.
I guess we shouldn't do that.
No, yeah, on an album's pretty important.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, like a lot of the writing happens for me with intertwining storylines, like between
Connecting one
songs.
song to another?
Yeah, as a whole journey from start to finish, unless it's singles,
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it for sure.
It's tough too. Like albums now aren't albums, so there's
Right.
not like a flip
Yeah,
side
yeah.
where you
Yeah.
have a chance. To
we
do
tried.
that.
Yeah, we tried to structure this one like that. The fourth song is kind of like the ender. If we did make a record, it would be like the end of a side A, and the fifth song would be like the first song on a side B. I tried to think about this, even
Yeah.
though cannot afford to make a record for this one. But our next one, we have vowed like we're making
We're
a
making a
record.
vibe.
I don't
Precedent.
care how much it
We're halfway
costs.
through that next
If
one.
I gotta sell my
Like,
house.
But we're not going to talk about that next one. That next one. Until Eminem sponsors us so we can buy vinyl
Yeah.
made out of M&Ms.
Oh my God.
Flavored vinyl.
On the,
Yeah, if we had M&M
the
money.
vinyl will look like
One
an
on each
M&M.
side,
Yeah.
Yeah, an M on each side. So the
Wait,
the-
dress up
what
like that.
color, Eminem?
I just want to be the sexy green one.
Well, if you look at who's on this one, Babu.
She's got her church hat on.
she's doing squats.
She's got her
She's like,
Sunday
you guys,
hat.
you guys caught me on an off day. You're gonna buy these, all right? Yeah. Sure. I usually just make these for my family.
The last band that was in Grav, their
We love
last
them.
album did a really cool take where like when you get to that
Yeah, the
flip
live
area,
thing,
where
Yeah.
we broke the end of a set. We're going out to have a smoke or
Yeah.
bullshit, and then go.
I,
to the
I
next
love that
one.
record.
It's
Yeah.
a great record.
Like that was a fantastic way of dealing with the modern. There is no flip to the album side, you know. Like
Yeah,
What
they're,
is it?
they're
They're
good.
also rarely as live albums really anymore.
yeah.
Because if it's like a live album, it tends to just be
Studio
a
live.
video.
Yeah.
a heavily edited live album.
Yeah.
He was telling me he heard a live thing the other day from someone, I forget who it was, and he was like, it was auto-tuned. I'm like, auto-tuned on the live recording?
Yeah, they
What?
go in the studio and get the scissors.
And like, we have technology, and like, if you can use that to enhance your thing in a world that is now going back to what you're saying, AI programmed, right, where everything's almost cookie cutter perfect. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with using those tools that kind of aid in certain ways, but when it's just that, when it's like Donald Trump telling you about a Rickenbacker bass and clearly not him, you know what I mean? I think that's kind of the perfect way to sum that up. That feeling of listening to something that is completely
Processed.
processed and
Overly
programmed.
processed.
It's just like two things that do not compute but are done accurate, right? So I think tools like that, like quantizing, moving a thing here, or like fixing up pitch instead of screaming until you can't talk the next day. You know, I think if it's done very sparely, it's a beautiful tool. But if it's just your whole performance, then it's not. It's that Donald Trump telling you about a bass. You know, it's like it's like Kiss getting the joke. It's like. I'm trying to find another metaphor, but I'm gonna go with that. But like, you know what I mean? Like it ruins the thing that is special. Like we were kind of going off that. We were learning one of these tunes that we're gonna play as for the Tony Hawk set on our show March 4th at the Grog Shop.
Ooh, smooth.
But
Slid into it.
Safe. Well, we were learning one of them, right? And we watched a live version of it, or I showed you guys a live version of the Sublime, and like they completely did the song.
It was the opposite of auto-tune.
Yeah, it was completely wrong.
Because we were struggling with
At
it,
one
and
point-
it was like, oh, this is like a tough song. I wonder how they did it
Seed
live.
by
Oh, they
Sublime.
didn't. They did it.
Yeah, at one point
Horrible.
he just stopped singing words and just was kind of like, "Look at my dick, look at my dick, look at my dick." Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like a whole verse. Yeah.
just
Until he got back to the chorus.
Yeah, which was, but there was something
Which
kind
Sublime
of
song?
Seed. You know that tune?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
a
it's-
live version of it.
The live version of that was pretty.
It's worth watching.
It's definitely worth watching. But the thing that was cool about it was like he calls at the beginning, let's do that new one, right? And you could tell they're working it out, and you can see the process of where it eventually was going to go if you look hard enough. And I'm sure
you can look through his dick.
Yeah. But there's something to that, like, you know, now we're kind of in a world that's always captured and always documented, and like people are kind of afraid to
Show imperfections.
show imperfections, and that's what we are. We're imperfect, you know. We work hard enough to hopefully send you in advance that maybe doesn't sound like too fucked up and sounds okay. But if we never did that, you know, if you stop being that person who doesn't get past those mistakes, you're going to be that person with those mistakes as opposed to being like, I'm so glad I'm not that person and I'm glad I learned that fill or whatever.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
That was super deep, dude.
Sorry. I've been on a roll with
I'm
that.
gonna take that and say something not so deep, and just say we like Grav a lot.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
went
love
to
Grav.
high school with them kids, and they
Cheers
were
to Grav. Yeah.
they're
they're
Cheers
good
to
friends
Grav.
of mine.
Everybody's kids to me.
to us.
That's I just say that I call Dave a kid all the time.
Nope.
Hey, man,
It's like you're
that
either
is
old.
something-
No, I got one here.
That is something I struggled with in the studio with New Moon Rising. Was like any time that we had to like digitally manipulate something to
Yeah.
sound better,
Yeah.
I had a problem with it. Like I couldn't give any of that at all.
Right.
Yeah,
Did you at least,
he
like,
hears
take
it way
after
more than I
take
do.
after
Did you
take.
like at least do like a click or like?
Yeah,
was
we
it
did
like
a click.
okay?
We
Because
did
some
a
people
click.
are like that's like baseline. Like I
Most-
won't even do a click.
Mostly vocally. I guess
Yeah.
I was saying
Process, yeah.
Yeah, and so
Like, I don't
you know,
notice it.
the Melodyne plugin.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep,
and
yep.
so like even like opening that up was a problem for me.
Like,
But, yeah,
I'm with
but
you
there was
still.
pits.
I'm still with you.
No, I'm saying I was there, and now
I'm still there,
I
is
opened
what I'm
myself
saying.
up to it, and it is
Fight.
It's you know, if it's not if it's not
Fisticuffs,
like a
buddy.
huge amount of the thing, like it's just here and there and here and there. When it's like really physically harming,
Right.
you to,
Even
like,
if it is a huge amount of the thing, if it's done in the right way, I just want to say T-Pain is one of the greatest artists of all time.
Everyone loves
So-
T-Pain.
We just can't do that ourselves. We just
Right.
don't sound that good with that much of
That's
it.
that's
Using a
celebrates-
correction
he
tool though in
celebrates
an
the
artistic way is different. Like
Yeah,
using
for sure.
using a correction tool artistically and like I'm gonna use it to completely change what I'm doing.
yeah.
Is like an artistic
Valid.
expression rather than like, well, I fucked up and I don't want to do it again.
Totally.
Right.
It's not pitch correction. It's almost its own instrument.
Yeah.
So, like, the
you know,
kinda-
almost
Or like a
you're
filter,
plugging-
like an
almost
amp
you're
or a
plugging
pedal.
Your mic
Right.
into a keyboard and then
Right.
like getting
Little bit of
your
gaff on the
digits
snare.
that way.
To build off what you're saying, like how I use Melodyne or any like pitch correction is mostly on harmonies. So if I go in and record a harmony, I usually go in and I bust my head against the wall for hours to get that distance. And if I can't get it, will melodyne it, and like it will sound.
You sound like you sound like a lifter talking about steroids. He's
Right.
like trying to be like,
I don't use.
I don't use them, but if I do use them,
brother.
I would just be like
But so okay, so
It
it's
does
like
sound like a steroid Melodyne.
it does. It does sound like a melody. But so we'll melodyne it, then
So
I'll
I'm
go.
cycling the Melodyne.
Right.
I'm off the Melodyne. I haven't touched it.
I haven't touched this shit.
But
I'll
just
Makes
start
your balls
singing in
weird.
perfect pitch right now. I swear I'm not on the Melodyne.
But
Sing T-Pain for me right now.
They have rehab clinics. They have rehab clinics for that. Yeah.
yeah.
Dr. Drew.
But go in, fix the harmony, right? Then go record it to that and get rid of that fixed harmony. Because like to me, I don't like really anything really inauthentic of that level. So like for me, it's a tool of like it's like spell check for my harmonies, right? So I couldn't reach that note. Should it be this note or that note? Instead of wasting money and hours, we'll try to whichever
Which
one's
we've
right,
done.
which I've done, which we've done, which we've all done, and then once we find the one that works, I'll go back and record singing with that fixed one, then get rid of that fixed one, and you just got the natural one.
I'm on board with you.
I've
there.
al-
Yeah, so that's how I
always-
mean, like, these tools can be really useful and authentic, but if you, like, kind of building off what Cody said, if it's just, or what, I'm sorry, off what you said, if you just are kind of there and not doing much and kind of lazy about the performance, but, there's probably reasons for that, too. But for
You
me,
mean
that's
you
what I
find
use it for.
Melodyne to find the pitch of the harmony.
That's what I'll do. Like, if I'm missing, or I'm like, maybe I should try, instead of a major third, let's try a minor six or whatever, or let's try a fifth. Maybe that's the one time we want to use that, And, like, and you shift it, and you're like, oh, that works better. I'm going to record that, and then get rid of that clearly robot one.
Before I could figure out like how to find it, I would find it. I would find the melody on guitar. And so
Yeah,
Right.
he does that.
I do that a lot, too.
Play a track against the vocals of the melody on guitar. and
Yeah.
Then isolate that and sing along with it for the
That's,
harmony.
hell yeah, that's what I did, too. Like, that's how I learned to sing, was finding the melody on the guitar.
When I was like 15, I'd come to his house and he'd be in the basement
I still do it
with
at
a
almost
guitar,
40.
and he'd just be like,
Are you singing Seed right now?
yeah, basically, yeah.
That's really good.
Look at my dick. Look at my dick.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like so a lot of this, and it sucks because so much of this stuff is cookie cutter, and like it's easy to trash it, but it's also a beautiful thing too. So it's really how we utilize these tools, and like how to utilize like this crazy AI thing. I don't know, but there's got to be
gonna get
some
nuts.
way, yeah. Because like I was talking about the same thing with Seed at someone at work today about like how like beautiful it is to see that process.
Because it doesn't make you think like, when you see that, you don't think less of Sublime.
Right.
It seems easy to just be like, oh, they just sucked live, but that's
Yeah.
not the impression that I got. It was just like, oh, they're just trying out. They're just stretching. They're practicing. They're getting
Yeah.
their new songs out.
Also, sidebar,
They still screw up.
Seed is one of the hardest Sublime songs ever, which we have found out. Like,
So
we're
weird.
in practice, we're
I think
trying
it's
to learn
easy.
it. We're like,
Yeah, it's
man.
easy.
But, I mean, just structurally wise, like, usually their songs are like verse, chorus, maybe a bridge. And then that's kind of it, usually. But this
There's
is
no
one
bridges
that's-
in Sublime. songs.
It's structured really weird. And
There's no
it's,
bridges in reggae.
It's just a weird song.
Yeah. Punk reggae.
Yep. Loud, fast, quiet, loud. I mean, we do Pixies.
It's like the way the chords loop, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
no, for
saying?
sure, definitely, and like,
Yeah, Sublime was great for me. Another sidebar. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we've always loved Sublime. I went and saw Badfish the other night and passed out some flyers.
Yeah.
We've never done it. Oh, well, I guess, yeah, we've done, like,
and you
we've
have.
done some, like, bad
Me and Cody-
backyard shows where people are like, what I got, please, just play what I got. And we're like, oh, all right. And we, like,
We were
We,
gonna
like,
try to
limped
go
through
all out
it.
with another Sublime tribute.
yeah,
Yeah, and we couldn't think of a better name than Badfish.
a cover, like a band.
And for the name, yeah. But we in New Moon Rising, we played like 13 Sublime songs.
Damn.
Like, that we went in through our bar shows. Couldn't think of it better, so we were gonna be 2 pints of booze, aligned with
Ah, okay,
Badfish.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
when we first started, we had a band called Aberration, and we did, probably about
Did
not
Badfish.
13, but maybe at least like 6 or 7 Sublime songs.
yeah,
Yeah, we did Badfish. 89 Vision was one we used to do a lot.
Yeah. That would be a
Um,
good Sublime
We like to
tribute.
do a lot of the covers they would do. Like we would do the Bad Brains covers they did a lot. Descendants covers. They do really good covers.
it's interesting because like, I mean, like Sublime's one of those bands you can really trace their influences on, like partly because they cover it a lot,
And find
and
out
you
new
fall
music
in,
for yourself too.
right, and you fall in love with
Totally.
they're one of those bands that lead you into other bands.
Right, yeah. I didn't know about 5446 from Toots.
Yeah.
Until I heard
Legend.
Sublime. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? There was Scarlet Begonias. I
The Dead,
I think
right.
it was like 11 or something when
Oh,
40
yeah.
ounces came out. And I'm like, oh, Sublime's fucking sick. And I didn't know anything about the Grateful Dead. And that was...
Yeah, there's
Like,
so
listen
many,
back
so
and
many groups like
what
that.
else?
Well, like Cody said, the Descendants. They had Bad Brains involved. They did Minor Threat.
Yeah,
They did
or
Minor
even
Threat.
like the specials. What he would
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he would do is he would interlope lyrics in a way like "Stop that messing around," and
Yeah,
you're
samples.
and you would just
Yeah.
know that line from that Sublime song. You wouldn't even know it's a cover, and
Yeah.
then years later you hear the special song and you're like, "Wait, that's that one Sublime song," and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how he like just planted seeds.
Yeah.
Remember when Fishbone covered Sublime?
Oh yeah,
They did Date Rape.
Date Rape, yeah. Well, Sublime covered Fishbone too. I have a
Oh
really
yeah, they did.
they did Party at Ground
Peabody's
Zero.
in
There's like a
Ohio.
really
Yeah.
crappy live. I have a really crappy live cut.
I want to
of
hear
them
that.
Doing Party at Ground Zero.
There was-
I want to hear
Stuff
Bud
that-
play Party at Ground Zero.
They didn't play it bad. It's just a bad recording.
I'm not saying they play it bad. I just want to hear it.
Cue up the track.
Jamie.
Don't have a Jamie.
So you guys
we
knocked
got no
this out at
Jamie.
RCR, right?
Yeah. So we've been working with Carrie. One of those tracks was recorded at what did I give you the one with the 2 live cuts or the one? I think it's just the one.
Just the
Okay.
one. And I knew that song, either from a show or from a past
Yes, it was
recording.
on our last album.
It was on our last
Oh.
record, and that take was a live take with Frankie Starr, and that was recorded by Jay Sparrow from Studio 44.
And that was at Brock's.
That was at Box
He was,
Juke Joint.
wasn't he original drummer of Sea
Yes,
Level?
he was the original Sea Level
we
drummer.
talked to Jay
Yeah.
Sparrow in here. Love that dude.
Was it
I
awesome?
played bass with him one time. It was me, him, and Nico. We would
Nice.
do
Oh,
some
yeah.
like psychedelic lounge rock at like,
Yeah.
restaurants.
That's a good
That
description.
tracks perfectly with those two.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, we did a live video, and that's the audio from
Yeah.
one of our live videos.
At,
That's
at
been a
Studio 44.
No, we did it
Yeah,
at this
well-
place called Box Juke. Well, he recorded it
With
and
his, like,
mixed it, but
approach and-
it was in a place called Box Juke Joint in Amherst,
Oh, yeah.
which is this really cool.
Cheers to Jay.
To Jay.
Yeah.
And to
Thank-
Box Juke Joint. That
Box
place is.
Jay.
Oh,
Jay
the chair.
Juke
They have the
They
chair.
have a really nice wicker chair.
They have the
Yeah.
wicker chair that was the
Box, how do you
iconic
spell
of
box?
many 70s album covers.
BOCKS.
I watched it. I
Box,
saw
okay.
some whole article that was on like.
It was that wicker chair.
Okay, it was that one.
Yeah, we took photos of like all of us posing in different wicker chair
in, like,
poses.
Yeah, like
20
we took
different album
different. Yeah,
covers.
we took different
Al
album
Green,
covers
Parliament
and
has
recreated
one.
them in that
Look at that
picture.
Perfection.
It was
man.
exactly how much I needed.
Yep. Thanks.
Incredible.
But yeah, we work with Carrie a lot. He puts up with my nonsense. He puts up with me being like, "Let me try the harmony again." Like,
Yeah,
and,
I mean, it's been 8 years or so we've been working with Carrie.
Yeah, yeah.
Quite a long time.
He's a patient man.
he's a very patient man who knows art.
But we recorded it there and he mixed it. But it was mastered by Ho Kepner from Dream Studios in Austin, Texas.
From the band Full Service, if you're familiar.
Not
Okay, they're one of the coolest bands ever. When actually it goes back to Badfish for you.
Yeah.
full service.
Yeah, the first time I saw Badfish was in 2010, and opening for them was a band called Full Service. And
Oh, that's how you heard about them?
Yeah, I became utterly obsessed with this
Where was
band.
that at?
This was
House
at the House
Blues.
of Blues. It was also the first time I saw Tropodelic, because it was Full Service, Tropodelic, and Badfish. And Full Service was on tour with Badfish. They're like good friends with them. And I just became utterly obsessed with this band. I eventually drove to Austin, Texas to see them, and like
They're still active? 13
they
years
they
later?
they have a band called Two Player now. So it's like two brothers that were kind of like fronting the band, and after years and years of touring,
Hustling.
yeah, they kind of just locked it down to the two of them, and it's called Two Player now.
From Austin or now in Austin?
From Austin. Well, they from Philly, but they've been in Austin for like 25 years now.
Their musical career is basically Austin.
Yeah, they're an Austin band.
And they're incredible.
You'd love them.
Full service.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll send you some links.
I need a soundtrack on the way to work after this.
Very cool.
Got an hour drive.
They're one of those bands that innovated with like just about everything that you wouldn't think to innovate with. So like they would like just thinking management. They wouldn't have just like a manager, but they did this whole run where they're like manager for a month, and they would have a fan manage them for a month.
Whoa.
Right?
They have all kinds of crazy things like that. They did a takeover tour where they
This is-
followed
yeah.
311 on tour and played in every parking lot of their show. And by the end of the tour, they got onto the
They
they
opened.
got to open
No
for
shit.
311. Yeah, they
And
got
this
onto it,
year,
yeah.
they're on the 311 cruise as two players. So
plan.
they
It's
developed.
It's just
yeah.
like annoying them into success.
Yeah.
I don't know how else.
It's a great
Perfect
plan.
way of doing it.
We mosquitoed it.
And they
just
made a
natty.
documentary about it too. It was a
Yeah.
really good documentary
On Vimeo.
about it. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like those things you think are just mundane and like only one way. These guys had, they took like the creative aspect of like music to that thing, you know. Like it's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been one of the biggest inspirations on us as a band. So it's been an honor to have him master not just this album, but he did our last album, Burn Your Own Gasoline.
And that's how I started to listen to them because I was like, oh, these sound great. I never heard of them either, so I had to check them out.
And it's pretty cool to have like one of your heroes be like, "Cool tracks, guys." Like you know what I mean? Like you know, it's pretty rad.
yeah.
Especially with a name like Hogue,
Yeah, like Hogue.
His brother's name is Bonesaw. That's the two.
which
of
is
them.
like they're just wrestlers at that point.
Pretty
Yeah,
much,
that was my
essentially.
buddy's fight name. It was George Bonesaw Comer.
Yep.
I was the brown arm brawler.
Nice.
Did you fight club?
I was a fighter.
Whoa,
You weren't supposed to talk about it. It's the first
I was,
rule.
got him.
I was an MMA fighter, and I was like as white as a ghost. But I worked outside all the time.
Yeah.
In a t-shirt, so except for my arms.
No, farmer's
So,
tan.
yeah, I just had fucking brown arms.
Ah.
My dad's like, "You're the brown arm brawler." I'm like, "All right,
That's
I'm going
pretty
with
good.
that."
Yeah.
I fought this one black dude in Youngstown, and like they had these video projectors of the fight going on, and they were like terrible quality. He's like, it looked like a shadow fighting a ghost.
What year was this?
This would have been probably like 07 or 08.
Ooh,
I'm guessing.
dark time for
Can we
large
ask?
screens.
Lighting.
Can we ask who won?
Videography.
Oh, I won.
Okay.
That was also that was the fight where I got my ass kicked the most, and it was a 30-second fight. I got beat to a pulp and then choked this guy. And then he wanted a rematch, and I was like, "You're fucking crazy! If you want a rematch, I have a W over here." And
I got super lucky. I'm not gonna get
I have both my eyes are swollen shut, and I have a W next to my name right now. So he looked like $1 million. I remember like it was a 30-second fight, and I remember every second of it because
Wow.
like back then, YouTube wasn't a big
Yeah.
thing, so nobody was promoting themselves through YouTube. So I managed to find one fight of this guy, and he was like top ranked in the country. And his one highlight was like they circled a little bit. He hit this dude, and the dude went down like a tree. It was 6 seconds was the whole fight.
So
Like,
you
all
were.
right, I'm like, dodge that right hand. So
gosh.
get out there, bell rings, dodge that right hand. Dodge it. He hits me with the right hand, and I've never been hit so hard in my life. Still to this day, I had 11 fights.
Get him!
20 years of practice and all that. Never been hit that hard. And I just remember like my head spun like all the way around, and I remember thinking, I'm awake. I gotta grab that guy so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I grabbed him. I'm locked around him real time. I'm like, all right, I'm cool here. Let's get my bearings. He picked me up in the air, and I'm like, all right, as long as he doesn't turn me sideways, I'm good. And he turned me sideways. I was like, fuck.
Oh no.
He slammed me down, and he's just punching me in the face like hard. Every one of them. Oh, you getting that on the mic there? I'm
getting it here.
So I'm like, all right, I got to make something happen here.
Yeah.
So I reach up around his head, which you're not supposed to do. It's kind of like a position, puts your arm in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And I shoved my thumb in his ear hole,
Ugh.
and I just started twisting it.
Oh, you wet willied him.
Basically.
Right.
No, he dry willied it, Pat.
I dry willy.
You
ever
raw
get a dry
willy.
willy?
Oh,
And
God.
it pissed him off exactly like I was planning on because he reared up
I
and was going to really smash
can't
my face
imagine it
in.
not.
But he wound up so high that it, like there was an opening around like through his armpit.
Yeah.
So I went around there and I got a hold of his neck and I'm just squeezing as hard as I can. I'm ready to go for another ride. You know, I think he's going to pick me up and
Yeah.
slam me. And all of a sudden he lets go of my leg and I feel his like hand hovering over my thigh. And I'm like, he's thinking about tapping. He's thinking about tapping. And I just like squeezed everything I had
Yeah.
into it. And He tapped my thigh, and that was it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
So the lesson is dry willy.
Damn,
Dry Willy.
When in
Dry
doubt,
willy.
When in doubt, dry willy
thumb in
out.
the ear.
Yeah, just be ready to take a beating, because like
Call that
if,
the Willie Nelson.
if that didn't work, he was gonna just smash my face in even further. But it worked. The dry willy worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ew. Finally, we got a story about one of your fights on this
Yeah, that is
podcast.
Roger L.A. Hampton, and he was just he's a smashing.
I can see the old like poster now.
I used to have it hanging up on the wall over there.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I think I got rid of it when we thought we were moving. I took down
Sold
my
it.
fight posters.
Just sounds like one of those old timey
out my
boxing
living
posters, you know.
Right? Yeah, Evan's got all my old furniture, the pictures on the wall. But yeah, the dry willy worked. Like, because I was like, I have to make something happen here, because everything that's happening now is not in my favor. And then I found a bunch of white supremacists after that fight. They were like, way to do one for
You're
our
my
race.
friend now.
You're like,
That's not what this was about.
Did you guys
I
see
think
what?
I'm done with this.
Did you guys see what happened out
You
there?
said this was in Youngstown, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Clearly,
This wasn't
barely
Youngstown.
won.
Yeah, that guy smashed me within an inch of my life. I managed to somehow squeeze his head long enough to win. But yeah, eyes were swollen shut for like a week.
That was Luke Skywalker odds.
I've never regretted winning more.
That was my
This
shortest,
is the approval I did not want.
shortest fight and the worst beating I ever got.
That reminds me of pain. There's that.
Me too.
I know, right? No, because we were talking about singing, and I was thinking about like we were talking about process stuff. And on the flip side of that, did you hear
Yeah.
that? Did you hear about how Chris Cornell would record vocals?
No.
He would like smoke he would smoke a cigarette before he would go on. He would take a shot of Jack Daniels, and I think he like recorded like leaning down, like sitting in a chair, and then leaning over, like hunched over the entire time, because like he needed to be like in a 90-degree to like press down on his stomach when he would scream.
Yeah.
And that's how he recorded every Soundgarden album.
Physically squeeze the diaphragm.
He would physically like compress his
I
entire
heard
body.
Prince recorded everything from sitting down.
He can
All his vocals.
I can't imagine Prince not doing something on a pillow. I just feel like he's always like
Legs crossed.
he's always just kind
hovering.
of like, or somebody's carrying him in like a in like
he had that bodyguard that carried him around all the time.
like physically.
Yeah,
Yes.
didn't you see that James Brown, Michael Jackson Prince video? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
classic.
that's a fantastic
It
video.
is.
Well,
Great
like
video.
like Kronk in Memphis New Groove.
kinda,
He's like
yeah.
a backpack.
Yeah, his
Exactly like
yeah,
that.
his bodyguard carried him around
That's
everywhere.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the life. Or like one of those like walking kind of squares that they would give old timey people.
I don't know when we stopped, but it stopped.
Oh no!
Stop recording?
Not on here.
Okay. Well,
Ba-boom.
What the hell happened?
The fucking
Now it's
live.
there. It's there now. Keep it going.
I will try.
We gotta turn it back
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna break while it's.
There's
while
no
it's not
input
breaking.
source. No!
Hello.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, Prince was on a Satan, and
We made it 50 minutes in, so we must have gotten close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. I've been talking that much longer than that.
Yeah, we got it.
Holy shit.
this is communal. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, help yourself.
Don't touch M&M's.
Dry Willy!
I tried to change it to my phone as the input device. I don't know why it did that. Oh!
That's actually how we recorded the percussion.
I know the rattle is supposed to be unreleased M&Ms. We're fucked.
I used a shaker of M&Ms
And
a
we're back.
Xanax pill.
Are we back?
We're back. I don't know
Alright.
what the fuck happened. At 50 minutes, it cut out and tried to use my phone as a device.
Yeah, I love when everything's linked up.
I'm glad I looked.
Yeah,
I'm
good
glad
eyes.
you looked too.
Well,
What are we going to talk about now?
but we're short on time because of all the rambling we've done. Let's talk about sea level.
Okay.
Yeah, we are sea level. My name's Cody. I don't think we ever established.
Yeah, we
that.
did.
I play bass. My name's Cody. Pat.
I'm Pat. I played drums.
Dave's been on the podcast before, but
My
you
name's Dave.
very well may have not listened to that episode and may need a reintroduction
I
to his
sing and
voice.
play guitar.
Yeah,
this
only
is my
having
voice.
4
Eight
people.
or something.
Episode
It was
8.
early.
7
Yeah.
or 8.
That was
4
awesome.
people.
Yeah.
All of them were me.
Ah!
Tricked all you guys.
No, I always listen to each of them at least once. Do that recap I did.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dave doesn't do that with his
No,
podcast.
I do. I have to.
Do
yeah,
you?
The
yeah,
edit doesn't
yeah.
count
No, I listened through it though.
on Spotify.
Oh, on Spotify, no.
That's what I mean.
But he's saying to do a recap for
He
the
does
podcast.
the edits. I do the listen.
I listen to the
See,
beginning
that's
and
what
the
I
end.
do. Yeah, that's
And
what
I
I
think
do.
he does the YouTubes. Listens.
I listen to it on Spotify to make sure Dave didn't mess anything up technically, even though I'm not.
Even
on
though
the
it's already
podcast.
out. And
And
It's
it's already
already
out,
out,
and
like-
so if he
Finished.
did mess something up, I have to be like, "Yo, you gotta delete that episode."
Which hasn't
It's only-
happened
It's happened once or
When?
twice.
with who?
It was just like where you had like the volume.
Spill.
You had like the volume low or something.
I think I left it.
We have that problem with this one. I know
Yeah.
I have to turn my car up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah.
normal, I guess.
Yeah. My audio engineering is trash.
Yeah. Well.
I'd like to get Eric involved in that. My brother Eric is way into audio.
You have
let's do it.
great
Let's
mics.
expand.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
are great.
These
mics.
are
I'm sure the recordings of the M&Ms getting eaten will
Compliments
sound
of
great.
Mr. Chuck
Yeah.
Kaminsky of BasementTrader.com. Wait, right?
Okay, so that's why you have these cards here for
Yeah, they're
plugs.
sponsors.
Oh, yeah, these
Okay,
are-
Jason Mayers, we
Go
love
for
Jason
it.
Myers.
Jason
Jason
Myers,
Myers.
executive
You should know.
director,
Yeah,
I know.
John
Roots
Mayer's brother.
of American music. John Mayer's brother.
Jason Mayers.
Jason Mayer. Jason, we're actually gonna hang out with Jason in a couple weeks. Go
Oh,
on-
yeah.
yeah, hang out on his radio show.
Cool. Oh, yeah, Neo Rock.
You
guys
got
want some,
Neo Rocks.
love
Smith and Company stickers too.
Oh, we love
Those
them.
are stuck around.
Those guys are awesome. Yeah, give me one.
Wait, we have one down. All right.
Yeah, we have one on the table.
You guys got any stickers? We can
In the
add
car,
some
I'll
down.
give you one.
Cool.
Sweet.
We want to fill this whole.
Yeah, we got you.
Oh wait, shit. Let's do the 216.
Oh,
It's a
let's
216.
let's do one. All right, so we remember this time. We have a see this.
I saw a
note?
sticky note before
Yes.
we sat down.
It's the 216.
This is our new feature.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
So,
in it.
for sure.
Two Desert Island albums.
from each of you.
Wait,
Oh,
if it's a feature, if it's a feature, you need a theme song.
Yeah, I don't, is it more of a feature or a segment? I feel like this is like a segment.
feels like
is
a segment.
Boom, 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 boom.
216. That's what it's called, right? Nailed it. 216.
If we had anyone listening, they definitely
Yeah, all right,
turned off.
yeah.
Goodbye, all our listeners.
All right, so what's 216?
All
What
right,
we got?
so the two is two Desert Island albums you'd take,
Okay.
one venue you'd love to play, and 6 artists we should know about.
Oh gosh,
Whoa.
that's a lot on the last one. As a
Okay.
group or
The
individually?
The
What
one
was
and
it?
the 6 are a minimum number.
Okay, so 2 desert albums. Why don't we do where for 2 desert albums? Let's do. I'll pick one, you pick, and then once
Okay.
one's picked, no one else can pick it. So I'm
Damn, I
picking
think I
Love
know what you're
Supreme
gonna say.
first.
That's what I was gonna say.
Go, Dave.
I was gonna say Love
A Love Supreme by John
Oh,
Coltrane is the
that's a great
first
record.
choice, and it would have been all of our first choices.
That's
As
true.
a
That's
band,
very
we can
true.
safely say A Love Supreme is one.
That's
So
fine.
let's
That's
try
fine.
this as a band.
Okay,
Let's
then
try
yeah,
this as a
that's
band.
just one for all of us.
Okay.
Then
Now
let's
let's
pick an
do one
individual.
more.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I already picked, so now it's got to go to Pat first.
Okay.
We're making these rules on the fly.
I know.
Which
I was
one?
looking forward to 6 different albums. Shit.
Truth and Soul by Fishbone.
That's another one as a band. I think
It was
we would-
between that and Reality, so I
Yeah.
didn't know which one.
If I had to pick one, maybe for the band, maybe it's more on. I would go State Radio's first record, Against the Crowd.
Need 3 more.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, there's 3 of you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with.
Evan's a stickler.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna go
need new
with
music to listen to.
the Clash Sandinista for sheer amount of songs it has on it.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's
true.
a good one.
If
How
I'm on
many
it,
songs?
it's like 33 songs on it. It's a triple album.
Wow.
Because I was thinking Chili Peppers, and I'm like, Stadium Arcadium has the most amount of songs, but there's 5 more songs on the
Just for sheer
Sandinista
quantity.
by the
Oh,
Clash.
cheers to Chili Peppers.
Cheers.
Every time you say Chili Peppers on this podcast, they do a shot.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yeah, I wore my Chili Pepper shirt.
Do a shot. Cure for Pain. That's a Morphine album I've been going to lately, and Pat, I know
Pat's
has
going
to.
to his
Yeah.
phone.
He's going to his phone. He's pulling out the notes. Cure for Pain's another one I'd say, or Ben Harper. What's a Ben Harper? Ben Harper's first record I listened to a lot.
Yeah, I might just throw in like Jethro Tull Aqualung. That's one of my favorite
That's
albums.
a good one.
What's the name of your guys' album?
Our album is
Your
called
new
Think
album.
for Yourself.
Okay.
Think
all
for
right.
yourself. Yeah.
I
That's
think we
the
hit that when we
title
talked
track.
about the song, didn't we?
No, we said it, but I don't think we said the record title.
Yeah, the record is
You know,
called
I
"Think for
meant
Yourself."
To put that comment in, and
Oh, you're good.
jumped in.
The album the album release show is on March 4th at the Grog Shop, but the streaming version of the album will come out on March 3rd, that Friday.
Yeah.
So everybody can sing along.
Hey Chuck, what's one of your Desert Island albums? Give, just
fuck.
one. Let's each do one of our own each podcast.
Each podcast?
Yeah, a new
That's
one.
going to be a big collection of albums.
We'll start with your first one.
You'll be
All
just
right,
loving that desert.
I'm going with Zeppelin 2.
Damn,
That's
I
a good
couldn't
Zeppelin
pick any
album.
Zeppelin
Yeah,
album.
that's
I
a good
thought
Zeppelin
if it
album.
was Zeppelin, I was gonna go "Song Remains the Same" for amount of songs. On.
Dude,
Is that your basis for Eddie
Yes,
Bennett?
if you're stranded on an island, you don't want to pick
And
goddamn.
a 27-minute version of Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, exactly. You need your bang for your buck. here.
Okay.
Like-
okay. I was going off a favorite instead of being actually
And
stranded on
quantity?
an island.
Yeah, I'm thinking literally. If I'm stranded, I need the most amount of music.
I would go How the West Was Won then from
Oh
Zeppelin.
wow, yeah,
If
that's
I
a
was
that's a
going-
really long
Yeah,
one.
if I was going.
That's almost
no
so
box
long you
sets.
can't say
If
it's
I'm
an album.
literally thinking of being on,
Yeah.
on an island, then I'd probably
Oh.
go with that.
Yeah,
My-
then,
my-
pick
my
the
other-
Stooges Funhouse recording.
That was honestly what I was going to say as a joke.
Yeah.
Was the complete session recording, the 8 hours long of Funhouse.
Yeah, 88 songs or something.
I was gonna say from my other album, the what's the Zappa album I'm thinking of off the top of my head that I'm supposed to love?
Hot Rats.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
a good one.
Nope. Go ahead. I'm blanking on it.
200 Motels.
Oh, what's yours, Evan?
Yeah.
Oh, my first.
Yeah. Yeah. You.
You fuck.
Mine's disappointing to everybody else, but it's Muse, Black Holes and Revelations.
I saw them live on that
We'll
album.
go number one for that one.
Disappointed.
So what was the one?
Sorry.
What's one? That was the two, I think, somehow.
One was the Coltrane for the.
Yeah, no,
No,
I mean,
what
the
was the
two
second-
The
Oh,
216. The
one
venue.
venue you'd love to play.
One venue. Red Rocks.
I was about to say that.
I was gonna say
thinking
the
that, but-
salt mines that apparently, the salt caves that
Or like
King
that
Gizzard's
one
gonna play
that
at.
one rooftop the Beatles played on the one time.
Yeah, I would
I
have
plan on
loved.
checking that out next month.
Oh,
2 months from now.
CBGBs would have been fun to play.
Yeah.
It
I was
probably
just
would've been-
listening to the Bad Brains. They have a compilation
Yeah,
of
yeah.
their CBGBs
Shows.
recordings on Spotify. That's really good. It
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
sounds very. You
I
would
have
think
I have a DVD of it. It's
you would think that
wild.
CBGBs wouldn't
Same.
sound good given like the sort of
Rapport.
the rep that it has and the bands that play there. It's just like loud punk bands that are like, it's like the Ramones and shit. But it's like the recordings are pretty damn good. It sounds really good in there.
Yeah.
What's your venue, Pat?
That salt mine that like
That's a venue.
there's these salt caves in I think either Pennsylvania or near Chicago that like King Gizzard is
Oh, well,
apparently.
if we're doing stuff like that, then yeah, I changed mine to
But it's a
fucking
venue.
pyramids of
No.
Giza.
This
Galapagos
is music is
Island.
actually.
I wanna play the
no, they're playing. There's a sound system there, and
okay.
bands are playing there.
What was the last one?
Six bands we should be listening
Six
to.
band. Okay. I said Screaming Females earlier. You should check
Yeah,
them
yeah.
out. Full Service.
Everybody's got
You
two
guys help me.
fingers
Yeah, let's
up.
do this as a group.
I'm doing the European though. You know.
That's what I do.
Morphine. Have you ever heard of Morphine?
From you, yeah.
Yeah. Morphine.
I think the first time I heard them was
switch
when
when
you
you go to
shared
war?
something, Cody.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And they've been on my radar.
I don't
since
know.
then.
I've never gotten before. You'd think as a drummer.
I switch.
A band that I was just talking to Dave about that I rediscovered that I used to love like back in college and I re-listened to. It's a band called XTC. Ecstasy. They're like a Brit
Yep.
pop band
Yeah, they're
from
great.
the 80s, but they've got like this sort of progressive like it's like pop songs, but their instrumentation is very like progressive. Like they'll have some songs that are in 5 or in 7, and some sort of like Indian, more world percussion-y stuff. But it's all very like structured as like pop music, and they have an album called Skylarking that I really love.
You know, I've never heard them, but when I used to be a karaoke DJ
And do Ecstasy.
and do ecstasy,
Mm-hmm.
XTC on like the song list. 'Cause
Yeah.
how many bands start with X? You know.
Yeah, it's true.
And so that's my
X.
exposure to them.
Yeah, that's a band you should be listening to. Is X.
Yeah, yeah.
X.
They're an old
Yeah.
punk band from the '80s.
I think.
It's really
Did
great.
you ever listen to the Ziggins? We were talking about the Ziggins that last
Well, that's
time.
6.
That's six.
That would make
never
sense.
did.
I was gonna go straight like plug the
Success.
homies. You should listen to Leah Mara.
Yeah, yeah. Wait,
You
wait,
should
let's-
listen to
you
Matt
guys got
Pless.
6 now. Let's get
You should
6,
listen to-
6 locals now.
Okay, Leah Mara.
2166.
Cellophane
Cellophane Jane,
Jane.
Rubik's
Grav.
Groove.
Rubik's Groove.
Quasi
Grav,
Kings.
Quasi Kings.
They're not Cleveland, but
Yeah, but they're
may
our
as well
friends.
be.
That's what we're here to plug as our homies.
One more.
One more. Yeah, we need one
And
more.
Moon Hooch's like first 3 or 4 records.
Just a drum.
Spectacular.
So
No,
all of your album features.
Yeah,
check
that
those
was
guys out.
pretty much everyone that's on the album.
So to kind of to be a little more serious on this record. So this record we made during 2020, and oddly enough, I sent you all this like crazy 2020 story, which was absurd. But 2020 for us was really like a communal time where it shouldn't have been. Like we started off like jumping in like to try to help out and we learned to stream with our buddy
We
Jay at
cured
Studio
COVID.
44. We
No
did
one
not-
knows this, but we fucking got the
the
beakers and
CDC has
and
been trying to keep a lid on it.
Yeah, no, they
The
didn't.
walls
us.
of my house.
Just, we didn't
okay.
cure shit, but what we did do is we found the things we enjoyed and did our best to make sure it's still here. So with Negative
Is
Space,
COVID still here?
no, yeah, I've been licking doorknobs and spitting in Cody's water. I was like, "Bleh!" I'm like, if you don't feel sick,
I was doing that before COVID.
yeah, I know, it's hilarious. If Cody wasn't here, we were just gonna talk about how many bottles we spit in his.
That's a whole episode in itself. Yeah.
It is. It's called Infecting Your Friends. That's the CD, Coda Cross.
Oh, CDC. I was like,
Dakota
what
Cross
CD
Cross.
are you talking about?
Code Dakota
Cure
Cross.
Cure Dakota Cross. CDC. But like that. But so during that time, like we wanted to make a record that didn't feel like an isolation record, like a lot of records that were coming out in that time. But we wanted to make a time that reflected all this awesome like community that we got to witness. And that's why this record has a lot of features that are friends from here, like Cellophane Jane and James Mushler and Leah Mara and the Quasi Kings. So
And the album cover art,
which is
being-
Gotti.
and Tessa, who does the merch, a lot of the merch art.
Yeah, a lot of our merch is Tessa's
it's all
awesome
Negative
art.
Space. It's all here. It's all
Yeah.
coming out of one place pretty much.
Well, it's our place, you know. It's
Yeah.
our it's
the
our
title
community,
the
you know?
title of the album comes from the
bridge.
bridge right outside of Negative Space. There's the
Graffiti.
right off of, what is it, Superior, or is it what's that street?
Pain. It's off Pain.
It's off Pain.
Pain. But and I would drive past this bridge, and it just said that every day, and I was like, I'm gonna make that into something. This sounds like a cool title of some sort. But like, so that's what we really wanted to do with this record, was to kind of celebrate, capture that for ourselves, and like celebrate it.
Beautiful.
So
Well, it sounds great. I'm gonna listen
Thanks.
to it again on the way to work.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
it's a fantastic album. Like top
you.
to bottom, loved it. Loved it.
Thank
was
you.
real happy once that song came on that you were guys were still doing some punk rock shit.
Yeah. Well, is it the next record is gonna be a lot more punk stuff, but like.
Yeah, he said
Not to talk
he
about
said
that.
halfway done. We're more than halfway done with our
No,
next
no.
record.
We got a lot more to go. He doesn't even know.
At least
You
on
heard
the
it
mute
here.
and then I don't know.
No, we really
so
don't
Are
know.
we gonna hear even newer stuff that's on the album release than
Yes.
at the album release show?
At the show, we got some stuff that we've been prepping for this next record.
Like
That's
a lot
in
of
the
stuff.
set.
Like
but
a lot of stuff.
yeah,
March 4th.
March
The Grog
4th at the
Shop.
Grog Shop with the Frans, which I don't know if you know about them, but
That's
they're
the one.
Yeah, let's do a rundown of
Yeah,
the bands
yeah,
real
please.
quick. So
Alright,
yeah,
so
the
the Frans-
Frans
I don't know the
are the
Frans.
first band opening.
they're
Go
Cleveland's premier pro transit punk band.
Pro public
yeah.
transit punk band.
So they sing about the RTA
And
Yeah.
riding the bus.
and riding the bus.
I'm down with that.
All right.
It's a
A lot of people are.
Dave's,
A lot
Dave,
of people.
Dave's
Yeah.
burying the lead. His girlfriend plays bass in the band.
Well, and our dear friend Gabriel.
Yeah, one of
Wolf.
our old band members. He used to play guitar in Sea Level. Gabe Wolf is the singer and guitar player
Yeah.
All right.
of the group.
They're a near and dear homie to us.
And they're a newer band, and I think everyone's gonna dig. They're
so
one
much
of those bands that like they just take over the room they're in, and everyone's like, "Are they singing about the bus? This is sweet."
Are they singing another song about the bus?
Right. Like,
This can't all be about public transit. Yes, it is.
Remember the song "Come On Ride the Train"? And
choo choo right up.
Yeah, I seriously, when that first came out, I thought it was an RTA commercial.
RTA doesn't get enough. I don't think they get enough.
On a-
100% thought it was an RTA commercial on
So-
the radio.
There's a on YouTube. There's this video called "The Blue Line," which is a pro transit PSA done by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And once I knew that existed, I knew
Why is it called the Blue Line?
Because it's about the Blue Line. It's in like L.A. or something.
Oh, it has nothing to do with
yeah, it has nothing to
Leonardo?
do with Cleveland. Well, maybe, but like once
He's
I
the
saw
blue-
that
he's the
video,
blue.
I knew the fans were on to some breakthrough shit. And like Cody was saying, they're as soon as they start playing, they're like one of the most fun bands. So like,
And you
can see
you
it.
describe that to anybody. I've constantly told everybody they're a pro public transit punk.
Right now.
and everybody goes
every
like,
time, yeah.
"Fuck yeah!"
They have to like add up all the words,
And then they're like, "Fuck yeah!" That
But-
just sounds great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
And
As
then
you
we-
should be
I'm
on the
in the
bus.
back ringing the bell.
Who else is on the show?
That's a trolley.
So we also have the Cats Meow, which you've played with before. That's a kind of an offshoot band, side project, I guess you could call, of Wanyama. It's a band we basically started as a money band. Like if I'm
It's
being
always you, Charlie, and Tim, right?
no,
at least?
it
No.
it
Oh.
could literally be it could be you. It could be you,
It's
like
been
just
me.
you.
It's been
like
me.
it could. I mean, not me, Charlie. It's him. Like we've done gigs where none of us were there.
Cats Meow
It's
is
just
an
a
idea.
name, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
it's just
a band.
yeah. It is. It's kind of just a name, and like
It's a Cleveland collaborative.
we started it as a band because as Wanyama we would get a lot of gig offers that we couldn't take because of scheduling and whatever, and we still wanted to take the gigs because we were like we want to go play and have fun and make that money. But we can't, so we started like another band, literally just to take the sort of money gigs that we couldn't take as a band, and it kind of took on its own thing. And yeah, it's a Cleveland collective of typically we do improv sets. We do all improv sets, which they can go really great or they can go really bad. Like I've been
soul of
a part
improv.
of some of the worst improv Cats Meow jams you can imagine, and some of the best ones too.
There was a bad one I played with you guys.
I'm sure
The first thing I thought of was a bad one.
It was my
Immediate.
fault because I failed to realize you were playing a 4-string bass.
Okay.
I'm at a 5-string.
So you were playing in the wrong key.
I was playing in the wrong key. And,
Yeah.
this was at B&O Railroad. Or where B&O.
Speaking of trains,
What
and
was it?
buses.
No, B&O.
Speaking of train wrecks.
Not Monopoly.
Okay.
That venue that used to be in
Reading
Youngstown.
Railroad, man.
Okay.
B&O station. I don't know.
That sounds more right.
B&O station.
I think
that's
you're
what it
getting
was.
there. I don't know.
Yeah. First song and a half, I'm like, I realized, oh shit, he's playing a 5-string. That's why I can't get in the groove of this. And then we played some good shit.
Yeah, that is one of the problems. Because so what we typically do for a song is we'll be like, what up A? Everyone want a A?
Right.
Okay. And sometimes on stage people
C?
C.
say C.
You said G. You said
it was
G,
you,
and then
it was you, Charlie, Tim, and Nico. And then like 3 songs in, you're like, hey Evan, come on up here. And I'm like, and okay, I didn't know you were playing the 5-string. This sounds like shit. What's going on?
that happens all the time, and a lot of times you just keep going. You know,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? You don't know what
We were
key the
talking
song's
about
in.
that
You
last-
just keep.
We were
going.
talking about that last episode. You only know it's a shitty show when you're up there sometimes. And everyone out there's dancing their ass off.
They're
Yeah.
having a good time.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there? I still remember the story you were telling me that you did a Cats Meow gig, and the drummer was like eating Wendy's while he was playing. Do you know what I'm talking about? He was like eating chicken like while he was playing, and then I asked him about it later, and he was
It
like,
was,
"Oh yeah,
It was
like Wendy.
Cameron.
Yeah, and he was eating
It
Wendy's.
was Cameron
like,
from
mid-
Acid Cats.
and he was eating,
He was
which is confusing. Acid
yeah.
Cats, Cats Meow, and he plays them both.
And the Cavs drum line, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I saw him the other night. I was watching the Cavs game, and he
right.
was up front. And
Oh,
center. I'm like,
he's
"Damn,
so
he's
fucking
cool."
good. He's so fucking good.
Oh, amazing!
I'm so-
amazing
They'll
drummer.
throw that in the national broadcast sometimes. You ever see,
Yeah. But so,
Just
yeah.
to show that he can still play while eating Wendy's.
Is Derek still in that?
Cats.
Derek.
Well,
what's his
everybody's in
name?
Cats.
Acid Cat?
Everybody's
no,
in
no,
Cats
no,
Meow.
Cavs drum line.
Oh,
No,
over
I
my
don't think
over my
so.
head.
Savage Royale.
I'd play in the
Derek
drum line
Willis-
if I knew
Will-
anything
Derek
about it.
Willis.
No, I don't. No, I don't think he is. He
I'll talk to
wasn't when
Cameron.
I watched the other night.
Okay.
But they rotate people
You'll
because
get me
I
an
watch
in-
all the Cavs games and I don't see Cameron every time. I imagine it's one of them things where it's like
Probably like
not
six-
all 15 drummers can make it tonight.
I can
Maybe
make
we
it.
just don't use him, you know.
Yeah.
But
Didn't even know this was
Where's
a thing.
the application?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how Cats Meow is. We just call people up. If there's friends in the crowd that play whatever, we just bring them up. And like I said, it could go either way. But for this particular set, we're doing a themed like cover set, which I was telling you beforehand. Like we've only done once before at Radiate. We did
The
a-
80s thing.
We did an 80s themed cover set where we
only
opened.
thing I did.
We opened with In the Air Tonight, and Pat and Nico were both playing drums at the same time.
Yeah.
Two kits.
Yeah, two kits.
I didn't even have cymbals because I just needed to do the backbeat
toms,
and then the tom part.
Yeah,
Because
was
he doesn't
epic.
play cymbals either. If you watch Phil Collins do it,
Yeah.
he does that shtick where he walks around and then he does it because yeah.
Fun fact:
'Cause he's
that
Phil
song
Collins.
was released on the day I was born.
Wicked.
So I came out of the uterus going. "Dun, dun, 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 dun."
Wicked.
Your mother was furious. He's in a lot of pain.
But this show, Cats Meow is going to do a Tony
Hold on,
Hawk's
let me
Pro-
guess.
Are you-
Let me guess the date.
I
I know that song came out in 1984, right?
Nope.
Damn.
Ah, 80s tune.
What
It is
year?
80s.
What year?
81.
Yeah,
I'm
dog.
gonna have to check.
It
that
began the
later.
decade.
But yeah, so for this show we're doing a Tony Hawk themed set where we're doing all songs from Tony Hawk, not just from like Pro Skater because Pro
Underground.
Skater 1 only had like 8
His
songs.
solo albums.
From like
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
7.
No, we're just gonna go up there and
how
do
many-
We
skateboard
stopped at
tricks.
Underground because
Spinning
Underground
wheels
was
on
the
the
one
mic.
where that was the first one that had
That
like
was an ollie.
30, 40 songs.
Yeah,
like we
yeah,
could have
it's-
just did
it's-
Underground,
right.
but a lot of the classic ones are in like 1 and 2, so it's a mix of like 1 through 4. I don't know.
There's a lot of good stuff to pick from.
It really,
It's-
it really was hard to pick.
like props to whoever was leading, who was picking all of
Cool,
those
can't wait to
songs.
see that. We're gonna be there.
Hell
What's
yeah.
that?
You gonna be in town March 4th?
Yes.
Cool, we'll be there.
He's like, I have your car. I know you're not going anywhere.
He's like, I own all your family photos.
I'm good that day. I'll be back. I'll be back.
And then after Cats Meow, we have Joint Operation, who's
Maryland-based.
Maryland-based reggae rock band. They're pretty kick-ass. They kind of have like a Bumpin' Uglies vibe if you've listened to them. I think they're I think they're on the same label as Bumpin' Uglies. They have that sort of like hip-hoppy reggae rock party
Yeah, they're-
vibe.
If the kind of build off like the community theme, looking at our set list and hearing you guys talk about it, like we got Franz as pro getting people around. Wanyama's kind of like a collective of just friends
Cats
playing.
Meow.
Or sorry, Cats Meow, which is a Wanyama driven collective of people around. And before in 2021, didn't we do that really rad house show with Benny and Joint Operation? And so it was kind of like I didn't think about that until right now, but even the bill itself is kind of doing what we're
Is
trying to do
Joint
with
on
this
their way
record.
through? Are they coming up here for that?
They are on the way. They're touring and they had a gap, and it worked out. We reached
That's
out to them
awesome.
because we wanted them to be on this bill, and we so they were kind of making their own way, but it also panned out that they're touring as well.
Cool.
So, and I think they're touring with Bumping Uglies.
Wicked. I also
wicked.
forgot to plug who will be jamming with the Cats Meow. So we're gonna have a good amount of members from Rubik's Groove. Possibly Evan can come up for one.
Oh, yeah, if it works
Um,
out, yeah.
Yeah, Rubik's Groove's been helping us out a lot. They've been letting us use their practice space for the Tony Hawk stuff because
They have
it's
skateboards.
so many people. We're not used to our practice space fits 3 people.
You got Jason.
Yeah,
on.
Jason on drums. John is leading our horn section, which is going to be Tim Unesi and Eric Levine,
Oh,
hopefully.
beautiful.
Yeah, Jason's playing. James from Rubik's Group's playing. A few members of the Friends are going to play a few songs. Chris Walker from Vibe and Direct is supposed
Komet.
to come. Komet. Mellow Man Funk is going
He
to do
plays
some
in
songs
Danny
with
Show's
us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's
yeah,
amazing.
we got a lot of people. It's been fun trying to pick. And told Dave that one day I felt like RZA from Wu-Tang Clan trying to pick who's gonna do what.
Nice.
All the samples.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Sea Level, we got one last question we always ask every guest.
Oh.
We need an answer from each of you.
Wait. Okay.
Buckle up, Pat.
Yeah.
Buckle up,
Adjust
Pat.
your underpants.
I'm not wearing any.
Yeah, we never wear underpants.
Yeah, we do. We do all podcasts naked. Just so you listeners know, we're naked right now.
Little
YouTube
incentive to watch the video version.
I'm
Yeah.
emotionally
Go to the
naked.
YouTube channel to see some skin.
Oh yeah.
Cuyahoga Sound After Dark.
Yeah, I got a sweater on.
Bob Bowen.
All right. It is a recommendation of either a TV show, a movie, or a YouTube channel we should be checking out.
I just watched a show on AMC called Kevin Can Fuck Himself. It's shot like a sitcom, like an Everybody Loves Raymond kind of sitcom thing. And it looks like that. It's all flat and like brightly lit. But the show goes between, and like the main character is named Kevin. He's a big dummy dumb. And there's a studio audience with like a laugh track and stuff like that. But then what happens is it'll change perspective to his wife. And when it does that, like the look of the show completely changes. It gets like super dark and gritty, and it shows how like the basic plot of like most episodes of a sitcom like that are like traumatic and would be terrible for like the woman in the situation, and how he's like a terrible husband because he's like goofing off and doing all of these schemes and not helping her at all. And it's like she's always shown like either picking up after him or like bringing them food and stuff like that when they're on the show, you know? But then when she's like by herself, it's when like the camera gets gritty and she has to leave the house, and that's the only time she can eat. That's the only time she can like do things for herself. And in that time, she's plotting to like kill Kevin while he's doing like sitcom-y things like, ooh, me and my buddy are doing like a chili cook-off and who's gonna have the best chili. Meanwhile, she's like trying to score oxy to like overdose him to like murder him because he's like so toxic. It's a wild fucking show, and it's only 2 seasons, and it got canceled.
You mean if she finally killed him?
Yeah.
You don't want to spoil anything.
So if Pat picked a show, let's do it like
Genius.
Let's do the other one like how we did the other one. So neither of us can pick a show. I'll let
Okay.
you go. You can pick a movie or a YouTube.
Cody
channel.
definitely has to do the YouTube, I think.
I
It has
feel,
been
yeah.
decided.
I mean,
Cody watches the most
pressure.
YouTube.
I feel like I gave this last time too, but like,
Don't do that.
no, I feel like that's what I've been
Nobody
watching
listens,
is
it's
more.
all right.
Yeah, no, it's been more like.
Yeah,
As
our
far as what I
listeners
recommend
stop
for a
listening.
movie, I've been watching nothing but Mark Cousins stuff. So I would say The Story of Looking is pretty cool. It's a more heady answer, but if not, I would go with the Elvis movie because Tom Hanks sounds like a superhero. He's like the snowman. Elvis, you displeased the
You mean a
snowman."
supervillain?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, that first one you said, you didn't say the last time, because I watch everything
Okay.
they recommend.
Oh, okay. Then
We've had
then
Elvis, so talk about
yeah,
the
the Mark Cousins. Mark Cousins is a filmmaker, and he wrote this book called The Story of Looking that Pat recommended to me.
story of looking.
The Story of Looking. It's basically like a kind of like a visual history of how
All right.
you
We're
like
about
how.
we're about to be done.
I know.
He's like, this is boring.
You
I'm
can
out."
handle it, Evan.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on, dude.
Yeah. All right.
It's only so big.
Okay.
This
Now,
was
hold
me
on, hold
last
on. Now,
episode.
now that he
All right,
dipped,
yeah,
now that he
fuck
dipped,
that guy.
that dude was just about to give you the fucking dry ear, man.
Kept trying to
This is
touch your ear,
getting
dude. I
dangerous.
swear.
I swear. All right, all
We
right.
stopped him several times.
Time, let me tell you guys.
Is that what those bruises are?
Yeah,
Oh, I saw it when you pulled down your shirt.
Yeah.
he abuses me.
He was talking about beating that guy up. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh man. Maybe we should cut that one out. That's kind of bad.
He'll choke us out.
No, this will make it.
But
up
yeah,
because
how bad does he fart?
Huh?
How bad does he fart?
He waits till I leave.
Yeah, you sure about that?
I mean, maybe I'm just.
Do you-
I've been drinking too much beer.
How many farts happen during a typical recording session, podcast wide?
Take whatever it was, take that and double it. That's
Yeah,
what we did
that's
today.
typically what we do.
Especially with Cody. All right, finish Story of Looking.
My
What
butthole's
is it?
Story- it's-
so tight that you hear everyone.
It's pitched.
It's pitch. But anyway, it's a historical, philosophical look about the development of sight and looking in like history, and also like it's set as like in child development. So it starts off with like you really can't see anything. You can start seeing blurry. It gets cleared, and it's a really really interesting and like. The film itself is about Mark Cousins getting an eye operation and like going through this kind of existential crisis about a guy who makes film, does his whole life visually based, possibly losing his vision. So.
And then he's got to like relearn how to like see, or at least
Yeah.
it gives him like a new kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Did
of
you
how
watch
to-
it? Did you watch the link?
No, not yet. I'm
Okay.
gonna
It's really cool. It's one of the most moving films I've seen. Cody, go.
YouTube.
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 First off, you're gonna go to YouTube and you're gonna type in Sea Level 44 Band.
Oh yeah, that's my.
And it's going to bring you to a wonderful channel, and you're going to scroll down towards the bottom and find a video from about 11 years ago that says Coda Kroos walk across a stage. And it'll be a video of me rising out of a life-size R2-D2 cooler on stage. And you will love me forever after you see that.
That's what did it for me when I.
Is that the video or is that an honorable mention?
No,
That's an
a
honorable
video.
mention.
Very nice.
Some other YouTube channels.
There's a channel.
A funny one you could check out is Much Dank, if you've never heard of that. Very funny YouTube channel where he
Quite
edits
hilarious.
he edits
He's gonna edit this
things
interview.
and makes them way funnier.
Thank God he won't.
A artistic YouTube channel you should check out is Daniel Warren Johnson's YouTube channel. He's a comic book artist that me and Dave
Incredible.
interviewed on our podcast, and he does like live draws on there and stuff like that.
Oh, can we hear you on Zig at the Gig?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
All the
Yeah.
podcasts
Go
are
to
on,
the
yeah.
Zig at the Gig YouTube channel.
let's see, me-
What was that one you sent me the other day? It's not a channel, but a show on YouTube. What was that Sean Paul one you sent me?
Oh, it's Vice is like.
Vice has a show called.
It's just
like-
they do like 30-minute documentaries on like one hit wonders.
It's like how did
basically.
that song happen or
Yeah.
something like that.
And it's
yeah,
on Sean Paul.
There's like 15 episodes of it, and I love it. They
It's
take
so
these
good.
one-hit wonder, not even one-hit. Sean Paul's not a one-hit wonder.
Everybody
Don't
loves
ever
Sean Paul.
fucking say that. But
Don't you
Who
dare.
Let the Dogs Out was
Reggae
kind of
legend.
like.
yeah, like songs like "Who Let the Dogs Out," or they did like "It Wasn't Me" by Shaggy. Just songs that are like absurdly huge, and they get into the nitty gritty of
It's
like
really
how
cool.
it was made,
does
and
cool
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it's a really cool show.
Those are all great recommendations.
I like YouTube.
No, I'm just looking forward to new South Park and Beavis and Butthead tonight.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I have to figure out how I'm gonna
You hit his
stream
Beavis
this for
button.
free because the new Beavis and Butthead used to be on Paramount Plus.
You're gonna like have to steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta come up with a lot of emails.
On a Beavis and Butthead note.
You've unlocked.
So
the
hold on,
Beavis
this
and
is
Butthead.
this is an
Have you
important.
watched like their latest season?
It-
It's on Paramount.
No.
Like
I
was-
wanted to.
It was better than the old stuff.
It can only be.
It was fantastic. They did it well, and the only other one that's come back that I've enjoyed was Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
That
that one
movie
movie.
they
Yes.
Yeah,
did
yeah.
was
Big
fantastic.
fan.
Yeah.
Worth the wait.
And actually, going back and watching old Rocco's Modern Life, it is written for adults.
Oh, my
Yeah.
favorite
Not
my
for
favorite
adults.
episode is when
Yeah,
they make the cartoon of the Wacky Deli. And it's like sort of meta because it's about a guy trying to make a cartoon and then all these idiots start ruining it by trying to make it funny.
Yeah.
He's like trying to make an
Isn't
artistically
that what
minded.
the revamp movie is like?
The
too?
revamp movie is like that had its place in time, and trying to bring it to now just isn't going
Don't
to work.
revamp it. No.
It's a different world. It's a
Yeah,
different
it's a
world.
different world now than it was in the 90s.
That's
So-
why it's not. It's Rocco's postmodern.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But me and Cody and I would do this this Beavis and Butthead bit forever. Just we're like, oh, cool. You know, that became
No,
just
that's just how you say.
I was
cool
gonna
now.
say I don't
I know,
think
that
that's
became-
even
that's
a
just
bit. That's
become,
just
like-
our
it
lives.
started as a bit, but then
But
it
now
just
you guys
became,
just genuinely react like cool.
yeah, that
Well,
became
now my daughter's obsessed with making herself cornholio. She pulls her shirt over her head like that.
She's the
walks
perfect
into
age
the
for
room.
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
it's always fun.
that
Yeah, you can
became
say
so
TP
much
and
of our
bumble.
jargon. It became like just actually like how we respond to stuff. And there's been times where something crazy happens when I probably shouldn't go, whoa, cool, but I do. And that's
Yeah, it's become a tick where it's like even if it's like you're uncomfortable, you're like,
yeah, whoa, cool.
Absolutely.
Like like at gas
I'm gonna make a
stations
I'm gonna make a super
stuff
cut.
goes
I'm gonna go
wrong.
through every Zig at the Gig podcast and just make a super cut of every time you go.
You could probably see that. That'd be a thing. That would definitely. That would. You guys should do supercuts of like people's highlights of like sea levels recommended nonsensical noodle recipes.
Sea levels Eminem
I've
ad.
been wanting to dive into like doing sound bites. I don't have the time. I wish-
It's very tedious,
Dude,
but
listen back to all the episodes. You'll know exactly what to make.
Oh,
There's sometimes like I wish I could press a button like those radio DJs, morning DJs.
Or your mom's house. They do that at your mom's house.
They
too.
do that fantastic at your
Yeah,
mom's house. I was
yeah,
actually looking.
You use
they
all wood.
They have a nice like Zoom. Zoom has like an 8-channel recorder that has like the buttons you can put on it. And I was thinking about swapping out to that because it won't stop at 50 fucking minutes into our interview.
well, as someone who uses one of those are really great, and it comes with some sick stock sounds.
Yeah.
That maybe your
Don't.
bass player won't like.
No.
But it's impeccable when you talk to really cool people you're both inspired by, and you just drop
Is that
one of
what
those
you
in there.
use?
Yeah.
Who did you use that with?
Townsend.
Oh, did I do that?
Because you didn't do it.
with
You didn't do it with
Townsend.
Watt. I know that.
See,
I didn't
Said
have
I'm
it
buying
then.
one.
They're
I'm
great.
buying
They're
one.
great.
I'm
We
buying
gotta,
one.
And-
we gotta wrap up.
Oh well.
And-
Before I'm
and-
trying to plug Zoom here so they sponsor us with. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Before we
you-
go, Eminem, please sponsor us.
And before you guys leave, so the last time I saw you,
Yeah.
Evan and I went to a jam night, and you were just shouting out like drum intro songs.
Oh hell yeah!
I
That sounds
was
like something
yelling
I
out.
would do. We should have started with
I
this.
fucking had a brain fart.
Which
on
one?
South of Heaven. So before you leave, I'm going to play South of Heaven. The
Okay,
intro.
beautiful.
Because it has bugged me every single day of my life since that happened.
What were the other ones other than like Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Oh, we did Smells Like Teen Spirit.
That's the only one I
We
could
did
think of off the top of my
something
head.
from Zeppelin, with like rock
South,
and roll.
South
at
of
the end.
Heaven isn't really like a iconic drum intro. I would
No,
say.
but like he hit
it's
it
more
not-
Rain and Blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, I was
Superman,
thinking of another-
Goldfinger.
I was thinking of another Slayer song, and I was like,
South of Heaven's superior to Rain and Blood as a song, but for as far as drums go, I think it's Rain and Blood's the one.
yeah.
I saw this indie band open their set with it at the House of Blues a few months ago.
Oh, I saw
Slayer with
Peach
only like
Pit.
10 people that made it to House of
I
Blues.
saw
Damn.
Ice-T,
Damn.
and he opened with Rain and Blood.
I saw a band do it with squeaky toys. They had like little pigs and they went.
And it
Sick.
continues.
Hell yeah.
And then it gets Slayery.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 approved.
Well, when I was a kid, my dad used to play that guitar riff all the time when I was a kid, and I thought he wrote that riff. Like for
That's
years,
such a dad
for
riff.
years.
Such a dad riff.
I thought my dad wrote the riff from South of Heaven until
My dad is Satan.
until Jackass 2 came out. And
Where is it
in
in
Jackass 2 when he goes like for the
Oh, the shark! They're
yeah,
fishing him with the shark.
when they go fishing with Steve-O as
That's
bait
what-
for the shark,
I didn't
they
remember
use
that.
South of Heaven. As soon as you start playing that, I could picture Steve-O fucking stabbing himself in the face with a giant fish hook.
He's screaming
And that was
underwater.
the moment I realized, fuck, my dad didn't write that riff.
No, you should have been like, fuck, how did they get this from my dad?
It's rich now.
All right, we gotta say goodbye.
All right, thank you guys for having us.
Late to work.
Thank you
We
for having us.
appreciate
We
you.
super
coming
appreciate
back, and
it.
thank
March
you for
4th.
Yes, oh my God.
Absolutely.
Cool. Hey, yeah, one more time. Give
March
give
4th,
us
Grog
a
Shop.
for that.
March
levels.
4th, Grog Shop.
March
like
4th,
Florida.
Grog Shop.
Is that the
March
same day
3rd
we're gonna
is
be
the
able to
streaming
all hear
date.
Your album? Yes.
Yeah, March
yes.
3rd is the streaming date.
Release.
$10 for tickets. You can get them on any of our social
What day
medias.
of the week is that?
Saturday.
Saturday is the
Oh,
show.
hell yeah.
Friday is the streaming. The physical release will have one different song on it, which you guys didn't get to hear.
Yeah.
So that's an
Hidden.
incentive
All
to
right.
come buy
Nice
it.
try.
You gotta play it backwards. And it says Paul is dead.
And come see us play Tony Hawk songs and celebrate our new album.
Thanks,
Thank you,
C-Level,
guys.
for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
fun.
dude.
That's fun.
This was fun.
Cool. For Kyle Like a Sound Podcast, I'm Evan.
I'm Chuck.
There's C-Level.
I love Slayer and YouTube.